Faith's digital footprint now appears to be growing fast. A Pew Research study finding 57% of U.S. adults who say they attend church often are actually attending virtual services.
Yeah, faith leaders see this as a way to open the door to the next generation. But there are questions about the pros and cons of religious communication in the virtual era, right? Attending church online, streaming it versus actually going into the doors of a building. Jesse Bradley is an evangelical evangelist. He joins us live. Pastor, good to see you. I know you say there's a spiritual hunger out there. Talk to us about that and what exactly you see right now.
Thank you for covering this topic and having me on today. America's slogan is "In God We Trust." And what does that look like today? More and more people are discovering a relationship with God online. And there's a hunger for God. There's a searching, and it's starting just with Google searches. And ministries are providing both in person and online. And what we're seeing here in Seattle is that Seattle's the second highest de-churched city in the country. Also, the Census Bureau says we're the saddest city. 45% of the people feel sad or down. But they are finding hope, and they are returning to God. And that's happening locally, across the nation, even globally. We've been doing hope campaigns, digital outreach, and we've reached over 1 billion people. In our last effort, we saw in this initiative 480,000 people turn to Jesus and start a relationship. So these are historic times, kind of like when the printing press was invented. And the platform now is go to where people are, and they're on their phones. Starting with the youngest generation, Barna says this is the open generation, and they are searching for truth. They're very interested in Jesus, the Bible, faith, and they're looking for a safe place they can discover it. And on their phones, they have that freedom to find the content. So God is doing a new work in our country. And even though during COVID, attendance went down in places of worship, it's now returning. And it's a both and, because online lives are being transformed.
Sure. I know for my parish, they offer the live stream option, right? So if you can't make it into the physical church, you can always go through Facebook, or you could stream it through social media. Is that what you're talking about there, that alternative where you can stream from your home or wherever you're at? Or are there other social media aspects to this digital faith approach?
It's helpful for people if they're traveling or have a sick child, or, starting late in the day, they just can't make it. Then they do join online. But online doesn't cover everything. We need each other. We need to gather in person, serve one another, love one another, encourage one another. Harvard did a study on flourishing in America, and they discovered that communities of faith are very significant. That people who don't have it report a higher level of sexual transmitted disease, depression, and drugs. But people who enter into a community faith, they experience more happiness, fulfillment, serving, purpose, forgiveness. And so online is valuable. There's so many ways God is working there, but we also need each other, and then enter in and find a local community of faith. And I have a heart for people who are maybe feeling on the outside looking in, because I didn't grow up with faith. And it was at Dartmouth I read the Bible for the first time and discovered a relationship with God. And now it's happening online for people. So whether it's an app, live streaming, websites, there's so many resources. And like I say, in America, people are hungry right now, and they're returning to God. It's a very exciting time.
Really quickly, I've got just a little bit of time. A unique conversation for both of us. I know you won't mind sharing. Emma's of Catholic faith. She's able to attend a Catholic church. There's one on every street corner in Manhattan. I am a Protestant. I have sometimes a difficult time finding a church that is perhaps non-Catholic. I'm a Christian, but I'm not of the Catholic faith. And so the digital space is really the only place I can go based on my location. But there are cons to that based on not getting involved with the community, as perhaps maybe Emma can do, that I cannot, and there are others like that.
That's right. And we all have different access, but we're all hungry for God. And it's a relationship that's 24/7. It's not just Sunday morning, but it's during the week. And that's where digital comes and provides extra nourishment for our souls. And I say it's a both and I know people watching, there's a wide range. And I just say God will meet you where you are. You don't have to go into a church building to meet with God. But of course, there's so much value in gathering together. So find a community where you're loved, where it's healthy, where you can grow in your faith, where you're being fed, and then also on your own during the week, keep growing in that relationship.
Sure. All right, Pastor Jesse, thanks for joining us. I'm going to bring Sean to church with me sometime.
Will
if
they
you
let
want,
me in?
you're always welcome. You can always come in. Just can't get communion. That's okay. And then I'm going to share my Word app with you.
I like it.
The Bible Alert app. Pastor Jesse, thanks so much.
I enjoyed it. Keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you.